Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Chuck and Lisa Show. You are hearing us from our studio, which is otherwise known as our third room, which is otherwise known as our trailer.
Camper.
Camper, that's
not
the
a
word.
trailer. We're not a trailer trash.
Everybody say hello, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Darcy.
Everybody say hi, Darcy.
What up?
Darcy. How you doing?
What up? I'm doing great.
Are you well?
I'm better than I
I'm glad to
deserve,
hear
but
it.
you knew that already, I'm sure.
I did know that already.
Yeah.
That's your usual answer.
Tagline.
Anybody? Let's see.
it's
Anybody
true.
here watching?
It's true.
It's true.
It's true, I said.
It's funny because it's
So,
all two of you.
let's do the preliminary stuff and tell you who we are and where you can find us.
Yeah.
I am Chuck Nellis. I am at Chuck Nellis on every site on the earth.
Except for Twitter.
Except for Twitter. Jack doesn't love me. Does Jack love you, Dershey?
No love whatsoever.
Nope. He's shaking his head no.
No. Jack loves me.
Jack does love you.
He does
You
love
can
me.
say any bloody thing you want.
Twitter,
Nobody says anything
I
to you.
have Twitter user number 5908. And all the little conservatives, I liked your line today though, when they're like, oh look, the little resistance person is chiming in. I did use your line. I said, oh, free speech. I hear you conservatives go for that sort of thing.
There you go. Nice retort.
Yep.
I actually gave her that retort.
Yeah.
Anyway, as usual,
I am on Twitter.
As usual, we should be in the ditch already. But where's Chuck? I am at Chuck Nellis at Instagram, MeWe, Clout Hub, USA.
Wiggy-wah.
Oh, no, not Facebook. I'm something else there. And Gab, which I wasn't going to stay on Gab, but I decided to stay on Gab just to irritate everyone else.
You're a Nazi.
Well, I like irritating Nazis, frankly, and that makes me happy.
Who doesn't like irritating Nazis?
I do it really well. They hate me. Yeah. And I like that because it makes it really easy. They come in at me en masse, and I just go block, 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 and I'll never hear from them again. And you can also find me on Facebook if you like. I have a political account there. I am I am 7. And other than that,
it's scary to think that there's 6 other ones.
I know, isn't that something? And I am in North Carolina, and there I love it. Miss Lisa, where can we find you?
So I'm still on Twitter at Louise. Always. Most places at Louise, actually. If you think I might be at Louise, check on it because
There she is.
Instagram. Somebody actually
Laweez.
Louise.
Or if you want to be French, Louise.
Louise Nelois.
Nevis.
Nevis. And somebody actually asked me to buy my Instagram handle the other day, and I said, no, thank you. I've had this forever.
Yeah.
And they said, well, that's mean. I was like, no, I've okay, ever since, what,
Wait, you think you're entitled?
1994?
Yeah.
When the web started getting, hello, my AOL name is Louise.
Right.
I'm not giving that up.
It was your, what was the one that began with a C before that?
A C?
I think it was a C.
No, I've never.
No, what's the one that was the big one for a while?
Oh, CompuServe?
Yeah, CompuServe.
Oh, yeah, my name on CompuServe was like, whatever they gave you, X57253.
I remember that.
297. Like, you couldn't even pick a name.
I remember that.
I don't even know what my CompuServe name was.
Yeah.
I went on CompuServe like 3 times because that was the only, that's all I could get on.
Yeah. So, where can we find you?
Anyway, so yes, I have Louise.blog. I am on Ladies of Speed
Yes.
as Louise. Imagine that. I'm on Facebook, but I won't be your friend if I don't know you. But you can follow me apparently, or stalk me, or whatever some of my people are doing.
Well, that's good.
I have
Clout Hub.
Clout Hub.
Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I am on
Hold on. Vintage Velma. Don't forget to tell people about Vintage Velma.
Oh, yeah.
'cause they don't
So I
wanna
have
hear
a
that.
shop on Etsy called Vintage Velma Finds.
Yep.
Which basically right now only has jewelry.
Right.
But will be more stocked this
You've
weekend.
got some great stuff that you're
Yeah.
going to be posting up.
It's all over the place.
You're all over the
Just
place.
stalk me on Facebook or Twitter.
Not Facebook.
Follow me on Twitter.
Twitter
or
is the best place
Instagram.
to find
Or
you.
Instagram.
Or Instagram. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
I take
one.
a lot of pictures.
You do take beautiful pictures
Yeah.
too. And Mr. Dershey. Hello, Mr. Dershey. How are you, my friend? I already asked you that, and I know you're better than you deserve to be.
When's he going to do his North Carolina wine tour? That's what
I
I want to
know. You got to come drink wine with us.
Yeah, we'll get up there
Because
eventually.
Chuck doesn't drink wine, so you have to clue him in on that.
I didn't used to drink wine either, so I went to Napa Valley, and then I got converted.
Oh, maybe we should go to a race at Watkins Glen.
That would be
perhaps.
New York.
Perhaps.
Mr. Dershey,
not Watkins Glen. The other one, Sonoma. Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
They all have wine.
Watkins Glen too, because that's the Five Fingers Lakes up there. They have some
Right. They all have wine. Everybody has
wine
wine.
up there. Excellent wine.
Do they?
Been there as well.
Well, let's go there then, because I'd love to go to Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
We'll talk about NASCAR shortly.
Anyway.
Dershey, where can we find you, sir?
Yeah, well,
Dershey says nowhere.
You can find me behind this microphone every night at Wednesday night at 9:30 on the Chuck and Lisa show. You can also find me every Tuesday night with you, Chuck, on the Right Side of Politics at 8 o'clock. But
Yes,
right now, socially speaking, you can find me on CloudHub, USA.life, WeGo now, I guess.
Your dog is
call
cute.
it. MeWe and Parlor, those are the places that I attend. CloudHub mostly.
Excellent.
Everywhere.
Wait, is Rico the one that's Wiggy-Wah? Okay.
It used to be Wiggy-Wah, yes, now it's WeGo. But all those places, I am at Dersh, so it's pretty easy to remember, pretty easy to find. But if you really want to find me, you got to find me on CloudHub. Anyway, so as we get started tonight, we got,
no!
Hey, let me ask you.
Well, that's a deal breaker for me right there.
let me get started. We got some listeners out there if they want to join in and give us a call. They can do that at 201-439-8092. 201-439-8092. You got to have a show ID that is 820-07366. 820-07366. I'll be posting it on Patriot Journalist and on the YouTube channel in just a few minutes.
Be on in the background.
Watching baseball or something?
I have nothing on in the background tonight.
Oh, we're having a.
That's
Oh,
weird.
you know what it is? Hold on a second. It might be me. Hold on.
All right, make it stop.
Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Not
Continue.
me.
You also, if
Somebody's.
you,
No,
if
it's
you,
a repeat.
If you want to
but I
get
don't
us
have, it's not
on,
me.
if you want to get us on online on your computer, you can download Easy Talks and join us there. It's Easy Talks is free. It's easytalks.com. Download the free software, Windows and Mac. When you do that, and if you do that right now, you can actually see Chuck and my beautiful face looking at you. If you join the conversation, you also need the show ID 820-07366.
Whose beautiful face? Your beautiful?
The
My
same.
beautiful face?
Your beautiful face. It's the same number, so show ID is the same.
Absolutely. My beautiful face.
Scary.
Both of us went, who?
What?
What?
A beautiful face.
I looked in the mirror a little. Dude,
You're like a friggin' chia pet.
I am. Chucky.
Chucky.
All right, good. So please, everybody, please do make sure you give us a call at 201-439-8092, and the show ID is 8200-7366. Dershie posted it in the chat room. We had a lot of folks chatting with Dershie and me on our other show tonight. We want people to join in, so I hope people call in and join the chat room
Get some free
or
food.
whatnot. But we also know that most of our people that watch the show usually watch it on podcast later on, which you can watch any of our shows from the past just by going
Or listen, not watch.
to the link.
Mostly listen, not watch.
Well, not watch.
Yeah.
Dershie and me can watch because he's not afraid of cameras. You're afraid of cameras. Oh, if you can see that in the camera, she just gave me a double barrel.
Oh, wow. I just found out some stone. Yep.
How cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a Pisces.
I,
Alrighty, so
Yes, I am.
have we covered all the preliminaries, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, that goes back to my kids.
Is Mr. Dershie there? He's gone quiet.
He's in the wee chat room.
He's in the wee chat room. Are you just being quiet over there, Mr. Dershie? I see you smiling.
I'm just waiting for the show to get started.
All right. Well, then let's do that. Let's see. Tonight's topics. We're going to talk about the NASCAR at New Hampshire. We're going to talk about picky eating kids. Everybody's had them. Everybody's dealt with them.
No, some kids do not taste good.
I've been. You're so bad. I was one of them. Lisa Cooking. She's going to talk about some of her recipes and stuff that she's been doing.
We're going to mostly talk about the food boxes.
The ready-made food boxes.
Well,
that
they're
you
not
just,
ready-made,
well, you cook them.
but yeah, but some are way better than others.
And she's going to talk about those.
Yeah.
And Lisa's going to have a giveaway.
Yeah.
She's-
Somebody
she-
please take these free food boxes. There's
She'll explain
really
them.
not a catch.
Yeah.
There really isn't. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not.
We're not gaining anything.
No,
We're just trying to
it's-
give somebody something for free.
It's literally a free box.
We've been enjoying this company. What the heck's their name?
HelloFresh.
HelloFresh. We've been
Yeah.
enjoying their foods 2 times now.
Yeah, we tried and we hadn't
So
tried
a total of
we
5 meals, I guess, so far.
I think so, yeah.
And they've all been very good. And I am a picky eater.
And they're simple, and yeah. So let's do the NASCAR first, though.
Absolutely. NASCAR, New Hampshire. It was a good race. I think the new aero package is working at every single track so far. What do you guys think?
You guys do that. I'm kind of a dummy on that
Well,
one.
you like short tracks.
I love short tracks, and Darcy doesn't. So what's your
I
point?
know, but this was a
So what's your point? Now let's.
This was sort of.
And next week is Pocono, which is the freaking boringest race
I know.
ever.
I love
Yeah,
Pocono.
we'll talk about that.
That's some great crashes
See?
at Pocono. Some great crashes.
Yes, there have been some unbelievable ones.
Torn up cars, man. People going into the screens. I love Pocono.
Pocono is the one that only has 3 corners, right?
Yeah.
So that's why there's all the crashes, because they're looking for
Going
4.
into that second corner.
Chuck and
And
I
they're looking
love
for 4.
Chuck and I love Pocono because they've got 3 corners.
Maybe you should get married to it then.
They're very conservative on the corners there.
Yeah.
Ah, I see how
Yeah.
it is.
And then when you lose your brakes like Jeff Gordon did, you get a
you ride
awesome
over the
freaking-
infield, do a few bounces, slide sideways up the truck, and then slam into the wall. You gotta love that. Fantastic
Ugh.
crashes.
The most
that
boring race.
was so painful.
The most boring track. But anyway.
Well, that Long Pond straightaway on the back is just, what is that, a mile
Wait,
and a
is
half,
that
a
the one-
mile long itself?
Where
I
did
think?
the
Long
you take
Pond straightaway?
Where did you take Ryan when she fell asleep? Was that Pocono?
No, that was Dover.
Dover. Okay.
Which is hard to believe because a concrete track puts up so much sound,
well,
especially a bank track like that.
yeah, but she.
And she
Yeah.
was a little girl and she just slept right
Yeah,
through the
yeah,
whole thing. She
yeah.
couldn't care the least.
No.
Yep.
It was probably a good noise for her
So,
because she likes to sleep with sound.
all right, Miss Lisa,
Right?
what are your thoughts on this past week's race?
On this past week's race, well, Kyle Busch didn't win.
That was
Yay!
Denny's
Hey!
afraid of lobsters, which is why he didn't pass Harvick.
Yep, that's why he didn't go on the
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah. No, I did kind of alright on fantasy. It was
Yep. What?
Matty D.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Matt's
Steph-
got new favorite racers. Oh, I mean he is, but I mean he's underfunded. But I don't know why.
They're not really that underfunded
still-
anymore because they're getting
Right.
the same cars that Kyle Busch is getting.
I still think that they should call him D Burrito.
The burrito.
But
Our driver,
Fat Turkeys. cook
Ryan
slow.
Blaney, finished 4th.
I love that. I love when he said Fat Turkeys cook slow.
I know. The burrito.
He lost
What's his new
17?
nickname?
Matty
Guido.
D.
Oh no, his real name is Guido.
His middle name is Guido.
All right, but he goes by that.
No, they put that on the car.
I hear sound again. Middle one.
Oh no.
We're being Google's sitting there watching us. YouTube. We'll get those.
Hi, wait, Lisa, you haven't bought anything tonight.
There's 2 conservatives on that show. We have to get them.
You should log into Amazon and buy something. If you haven't bought anything tonight.
So, Denny Hamlin. Should he have spun him? Should he have spun Harvick
He's
going in?
afraid of lobsters, I swear.
Do you think that's why he didn't do it?
Yeah.
Well,
I
he
think
also
he-
he already has 2 wins.
I think
He has
hit
2
the-
wins.
What do you
hit the
think,
corner.
Darsh?
I think he hit the corner and said, "Whoa, wait a minute! If I pass him and stay here, I get to hold that lobster again." And then he hit the brakes, and that was the end of it.
Exactly.
think you're right.
He's such a puss.
I think you're right, man.
Wait, that's
He
not
did.
a bad word, right?
He did not like
No,
holding
not
that lobster
really.
last time. He hated that
No.
thing.
Oh no, he was
No,
scared
he's
to death,
scared of
wasn't
it.
he?
It's because it's bigger than him.
It's a lobster. Oh no! I'm gonna freak out.
Plus, his girlfriend's last name is Fish, so maybe he thought.
Is it really?
Yeah, Jordan Fish.
That's interesting.
The girlfriend that he's had 2 babies with that he has not married yet.
That would make her a baby mama.
Right, but don't you think Coach Gibbs should maybe talk to him about that?
I'm surprised he hasn't personally taken them to the altar.
And
said,
look,
"Gift
this
done."
is a liberal saying this.
Oh my God! It's a liberal.
But you're gonna keep having babies with the woman, like, I don't know, marry her or something?
That's my thought. I mean,
Maybe.
we're old school, but
Maybe
Yeah.
not.
oh, let me. So Hamlin is afraid of lobsters. Had a chance to win. Finished second. He's already got 2 wins this year, so it's
yeah.
not that big of a deal. Harvick is his first win of the year. He hadn't won since
Maybe the old
Last
guys are
year.
looking out for each other.
maybe so.
That's not funny to hear us call Hamlin an old guy.
Yeah, it is. That boy that Jones boy. He
Jones-
finished Ryan Badge's blame.
Rain Man.
Hey, Blaney might be listening. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Another good surprise, Ryan Newman. He
Oh God!
I know.
Moonwalk denier? What?
Yeah. He denied the Apollo mission walking.
Yeah, he says he doesn't think it happened.
Which really lost some esteem with him in my head.
Yeah.
But he's still a hell of a driver, and I followed him a long time.
He drives a wiener car.
Started 26th, finished 7th. And he has done amazing things with Roush. Roush has been nothing as a team for a long time.
He got married to a woman from
a
New
Jersey girl.
Yep, so there's that.
Yep, that's a positive. Kai Bu is not even in the top 5. He's 8th. Yay. Then you got the Dumb and Dumber? Not Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
What did we name Kez and Logano? Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, yeah.
That's it.
Beavis, Butthead, and Blaney. Haven't you seen my hoodie? I have a hoodie.
That's their actual nicknames, man.
Beavis and Butthead. They look like Beavis and Butthead.
Don't they look like them? They act like them.
No, seriously. If you take a picture of Logano, stick it next to a picture of Beavis and Butthead.
It's funny.
It's like the same thing.
I find it
I like them. I like them. That's the thing. I'm not demeaning them, but they look like Beavis and Butthead. They really do.
That's funny. Alrighty then. Anything else on NASCAR, guys? Any comments?
What about I gotta go check and see. So Bubba was sitting in his car the other day or whatever, and Richard Petty came up with his blue Sharpie and wrote on Bubba's elbow, did his signature on his elbow.
Did that classic signature?
And the whole big scribbles and everything, in blue, right?
Yeah.
And Bubba, being the smartass that he is, said, "Hey, look, if I get 43,000 retweets on this, I'm getting it tattooed on my elbow."
That'd be awesome.
And
did he make it?
I don't know, I have to look. And so everybody picked up on it. And NASCAR retweeted it, and Junior retweeted it, and as of the last time I looked, there was like 39,000 retweets. And then Bubba goes, "Oh, well, I sort of meant that to be a 24-hour challenge." But he never said that.
So he's done.
So, yeah, I have to go look and see.
And I have to mention, Mr. Dersh, you have an outstanding hat on. He's got an American flag on the front, and on the side is number 12, Blaney.
Oh, good for him.
I like it. I'd wear that hat, except my hair won't fit under it.
Except you need a freaking Rasta hat for all your hair. Oh, they should make those.
Man. I love it.
They should.
You should make those.
I could crochet you one. After I finish crocheting Jerry's baby blanket before the kid graduates from college.
Oh my God, this kid's going to be married with his own children before you ever get the baby.
It's not true though, because the kid's not even 1 year old yet, and it's.
Well, it's going to need that soon.
It's 2 degrees up there. It'll be fine.
You're true. All right, anything to add, Dersh? You're not he's just like there tonight.
He's not entertained? Is that what you're going to
say? He's entertained.
I'm having microphone problems right now, so I had it turned off.
What's going on? Uh-oh.
Well, that would be an issue.
It's good now.
Is your boom busted? I've got a broken boom. That sounds painful.
I had to go boom boom.
All right, so I have to
All right, I'm good now.
Got visitors.
We do. Who wants?
Look in the chat room, Lisa.
Who wants a food box? I don't have it open.
Open it up.
Robin and the Wolfman.
Go on.
It is. You tell people where it is.
All right. If you want to find us, you can find us 2 ways. You can either go to YouTube, which we've told you and posted and things like that. And you can also go to patriotjournalist.com/Chuck Nellis.
So clear me
and
up
on there, if you can't hear us there, which happens occasionally, but sometimes it's good, on the right you will see the link to go to YouTube. Click on that link to go to YouTube, and then once you're there, there's a chat room there. And you can join that chat room as well. All
right, hold on a second. I'm trying to do it, and I go to
patriotjournalist.com/Chuck Nellis.
Shut up, Chuck.
Shut up, Chuck Nellis.
It takes me to soccer. Why does it do that? Hold
Your
on.
computer's hacked.
No, it's because.
So let's see. We've got Robin. We've got Wolf. Hello, guys.
Robin,
Welcome
your
to the
sister?
show. Ah!
Okay, we may have
Oh, good.
issue.
Oh, that's why.
We
Look,
don't have-
you
I
can't
didn't do
pull on that.
anything.
You
I
pull-
wasn't pulling on anything.
It was still laying on
No,
it.
it's not my fault.
Your phone was still
No,
laying
it's
on
not
the
my
cord where
fault.
it fell
It's
down.
not my fault. Well, there's nobody in our chat room.
Yeah, there is.
There's you,
Are you in the wrong-
you and Dersh.
No, and Robin and Patriot
Robin
I
and
Wolf.
Patriot Wolf are there.
Look,
You're-
nobody.
No, click on this. Click over there. That takes you to YouTube.
You didn't say YouTube.
I
You
did.
said go to
I gave
Patriot Journalist.
You know Risson, Miss Risa.
I don't.
You know Risson. So click on that.
Uh-huh.
Go to YouTube.
I'm on YouTube
Okay,
already.
now you're on YouTube, and
But
then
it
you'll
was
see the
making
show.
Noise.
Well, you have to mute it.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
Otherwise,
I
we're
don't.
going to have us echoing, and that's
No.
never a good
I
thing.
don't. Hold on.
You're so funny.
You're so funny.
Alrighty. So anyway, after NASCAR, our next topic is picky eating kids. Many of
We're
us,
not eating kids, actually.
we're not eating picky kids. Picky eating children and how they've, what?
Okay. First of all, this is how it started, because there's a stupid commercial on TV
Uh-huh.
where the kids are like, nah, I don't like the food, and then the mom makes macaroni and cheese for everybody.
Right?
That's not how it works.
That's not how this works?
Eat the food or don't eat the food, unless you have some specific allergy where you cannot eat the food, in which case, why would the mom be making that food anyway?
Right.
Correct?
That's true. That's true. That
Easy for you to just like
for me as a
roll
single
with.
dad, I usually just when she said I'd like a cheeseburger or chicken McNuggets, I took her to McDonald's, and because
All right.
there was always the play area where she as a little girl could play
Well, it'd have to be a girl thing.
because she's my daughter.
I'm saying, if she was a little boy, could she not play in there?
If I'd had a little boy, yes,
So why did you say that?
because I have one daughter.
When did you say a little kid?
Okay, I was talking about my daughter.
Well, you were like, she, as a little girl.
I was trying to speak properly.
No, I'm just...
I don't
little
know,
kid, little kid.
I don't know how.
Alright, did you ever... So
What?
when she was ever up in the play area or whatever, did she
Yeah.
ever get stuck up there and
She
refuse to
actually
come out?
did. I
'Cause
had to
Mike
go up there.
did that.
I know.
Mike did that.
Our kids could be twins. It's
Mike,
just amazing.
We were at the fair, and there was that thing where you crawl through the ball cage and then up in the like ladder thing or whatever, and he went up in this tube in the ladder thing, and he was just like, like, oh, like really,
He has
like
so much-
really. Nobody can fit up there to get him out. Like, dude, like my kid's stuck up in the tube.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyway,
rabbit.
what
Goes
our
back
folk-
to the picky eater.
What our
thing.
folks in the chat room are saying is, Robin says she has one picky eater, and she eats what she makes. So that's pretty lucky because there's a lot of kids that just won't do
So
that.
wait, so the picky
Well, you're
eater.
seeing it too.
No, I'm not.
Let me see your
I don't
YouTube.
know,
Do you
I
have chat
don't
open on the
no,
right?
I don't have YouTube.
You're supposed to be
I
on YouTube,
did it, but
sweetheart.
then I know I did, but
Why did you leave?
because it
We're
was,
doing a
because
show.
it was talking to me.
Well, you have to hit the mute
I
on,
did.
on the corner.
No, I
The
did.
little-
I did.
There you go.
Hold on.
It'll be fun.
There's that stupid Chuck and Lisa show again.
Oh no!
Huh, okay.
Now do you have
Picky
it?
eaters. And
Do you see
then,
everybody
okay,
on the right now?
I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good deal. Lisa's
Yeah,
here,
so-
everybody in the chat room. So
Okay.
join in and start typing.
All right, so
Tommy says that you will sit there all night until your plate is
see,
cooked.
my mom did that to my sister, and I never understood that.
And it
part.
never works.
But here's the other part. Because I wasn't a picky eater, I thought, like, if I ate all the food that they gave me, I would be, like, the star. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look, Jill hates
The
that crap.
competition.
But it also didn't bother me because I liked it.
Right. You've always liked veggies. And
Well, no, everything. I liked everything. I like I would try stuff.
I like a lot of
But
stuff.
she had allergies.
Robin says hello to you.
Hi, Robin. I hope it's not your sister, Robin.
No. No,
I'm
I've known
kidding.
Robin from
I'm
way
kidding.
back
I'm
on
kidding.
Twitter.
I'm kidding.
And now
So does
I know her over in Clubhouse.
Does Robin want a food box? Because I really want to give these away.
we have a couple food boxes we need to give away. Lisa's dying to tell you guys about it, so let her take that, and we'll get back to the topic of picky eaters shortly.
Well, so we try these food boxes from time to time. Not all the time, just occasionally. I get bored. I get tired of thinking of what to make all the time. So
And when she does cook, she cooks big. I mean, I know, but you've been making all these gourmet stuffs, these nice, light, simple meals.
Right.
Just enough for 2 people.
Right.
Not really enough for 3 people or 2 good eaters. Basically,
a lot of the HelloFresh stuff is perfect for 2 people.
Yeah.
Really, we've been finishing it up.
Robin wants to hear about it.
So we hadn't done it in a couple years. A friend of mine had a box to give away, and she's like, "Do you want a free box?" Sure. And you're like, "We don't need any more food. We have a lot of food."
We really do.
But this was literally free. You have to put your credit card info in, but once they ship the box, you cancel it so that they don't charge you for the next box.
Right.
If you don't want to get another box.
Right.
So
tell them about some of the things that we've got in there, because I mean, I am a pretty picky eater, so it's not easy to feed me. But she's actually managed to find.
it is easy to feed you if we feed you crap.
No, not just crap, but
no,
nice
it's easy.
stuff.
No, it's easy.
Well, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, it's
if you
easy
do crap,
to feed you if I give you hot dogs and hamburgers.
Right. I enjoy that sometimes.
Right, but I get tired of that.
Yeah.
So
a couple of years ago, we did this one called Blue Apron, and they had this fancy crap beef tartines with zucchini al pesto. All right, well that was fine. It was like meat on a bun.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, and it was hard to make.
And it was expensive.
And then we had another one from Blue Apron called Crispy Catfish and Yuzu Koshu Udon, which it was basically a piece of fish on some noodles, which was also good, but it was a pain in the ass to make. So, hold on. We tried Green Chef, steak and soba salad. What?
No, she's just saying hi to me.
Oh. So, yeah, and this thing had like 9 ingredients, so it was nice, but it was a pain in the butt to make. Okay, so we're just going through the list here. Oh, there's something we should make. Nutmeg maple cream pie.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Keep that one out.
Well, no, no, we're going through the box.
All right.
So, we did Green Chef one time. Crispy shrimp salad. That had 9 ingredients. Okay, so it was okay. But
keep talking about these prices though, because some of them are really expensive, some of them are really not.
Yeah. Green Chef again. Nigerian chicken kebabs. Yeah, that one not so much. Okay, 10 ingredients. Pain in the butt to make. Okay, hold on. Here. What's that?
They can't see you.
I know that. Talking to my own self. Leave me alone.
Talking to my own self.
Talking to my own self. Now
Shut up, Chuck.
Slow cooker carnitas. All right, we should make that again. So like we did it a couple years ago. It was fun. We were like, oh, another weird ass recipe from Green Chef. Chermoula beef kebabs.
They try to sound all fancy.
Right.
They're just
11 ingredients.
For kebabs.
It was basically ground beef, bulgur wheat, peppers, onions, artichoke hearts, peas, carrots, mint.
Do all these things.
Yeah.
Some are just better than others.
Some of the recipes are just like way the freak out
yeah,
there.
some of them are just too complicated for a quick
and
meal.
then Martha and Marley spoon.
Did we eat from there?
We did. You like this one.
I thought I
Roasted
did.
cod with leeks, tomatoes, and white beans.
Right. That was very
I think
good.
they've changed their name, though.
That was actually very nice.
I think this might be the Dennerly thing that we tried.
Yeah, was it?
I think they've changed their name. So, oh, well, here you go. Here's one of our new ones. Beef ragu spaghetti. And then, no, it's not ragu, like
Like the real Italian ragu.
it's not ragu like out of the can.
Yeah,
it's
not.
ragu.
It's not Prego.
So yeah, prep 10 minutes total, 45 minutes. Really, really easy to make, and it was awesome.
It was very, 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 very
So
tasty.
this was the
Now, what's the name of this company?
Hello Fresh.
The one that you like is Hello Fresh. And
Yes,
that's the
and
one
we
that
have-
we're going to give away.
Right, and if you guys want a free box, please let us know, because
And that box
I-
includes.
a box includes, I think it's 3 meals for 2 people.
Okay. Those
So-
3 meals.
But
And
that's not just 3 meals.
No, I mean, it is 3
Because,
meals.
yeah.
I don't
mean,
mean just 3 meals.
And
I
you
mean, it's 3
and
meals.
seriously, if you get the box and you want it and you want to add to it,
Right.
you can. But the 3 meals is totally free.
That's cool.
There's no catch.
They do ask you, tell them about, they do ask for a credit card from you.
They do ask for a credit card.
So if you don't
So-
cancel it, they're going to send you another box on your card in a month or whatever.
No,
I
in
guess
a
it-
week.
In
It's
a
every
week.
But
So after you get the box.
no,
call
it's
it-
not even after you get the box.
Right.
After you sign up.
Right.
After I signed up, I went in the next day and canceled, because they still are going to send you the box.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So it's up to you whether you remember to cancel it or not, but there's really no catch. They sort of depend on people to not remember to cancel it and maybe get an extra box, which would not be the end of the world, because they are really good.
Yeah.
But I remembered it, and I ordered
Right.
the box, and then I went in, I did it through PayPal, and then I went into PayPal and told them, no, they cannot have my credit card
That's
anymore.
awesome.
So, yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
So that automatically canceled it anyway.
Right, but you might like it.
Yeah, oh, no, I'm not saying just to try it once and cancel
What I'm saying
Because
is-
if you're in a circumstance like us, Lisa works a lot of hours and goes across town. I mean, I'm at home. I work from home, thank
But you
God.
don't cook.
But I don't love to cook anymore. When I was young, I actually was a cook. I mean, I actually was a food and beverage manager, and when my cooks didn't show up, I was on duty.
Right, same as my dad,
Yeah,
which is where
yeah,
I get
just
my
like your
love
dad.
from cooking,
Yep.
I guess. Oh, so here's another one we did, chicken cheddar fajitas. That was really easy. You
Mhm.
liked that one, remember?
What did what Robin just said?
What? Oh. Right. Well, I
We
mean,
are feeding
seriously.
4, and one's
I
a
know.
growing boy that's almost 6 foot tall.
Right,
That was
and,
like,
and so
man,
that's not
he
gonna.
eats us out of house and home.
Right,
My mother
but
used to
so
say
a
that.
free box of food might help.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like,
Robin,
I
would you like one?
I literally have 3 to give away. All I need is your email address,
Yep.
and you don't have to post it.
You can. How can she send it? I forget. Does Cloud have a private messaging?
Yeah,
yet, Jerry.
yeah.
Dorsey.
Robin can direct message you or Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah, and Coffee.
Oh yeah,
all I need- all I
yeah.
need-
She can direct message you.
on Clout.
on Clout Hub.
Oh, I don't want to go on Clout Hub.
It's only. I've been talking
All right,
about
that's
this.
fine.
Once they get the gateway there,
Yeah.
you're going to be a lot happier.
I know,
Which
but
they're
every
Just
working
be
time,
on.
patient because they
time I
really
go-
are a great bunch of people.
I know, but every
They're working on it, Chuck. I saw the vice president said that.
time I go on, it's like Hate City.
That's what they're
Well,
working on.
I am admittedly politically a
I know, but see,
vicious poster.
you can't.
Yes, Gersh?
I can't. I can't.
Is he talking? I
Yeah.
thought I heard him talking.
I was just
can't
saying. I was talking to
hide you
the
guys. That's the
VP,
problem.
the VP of marketing at Cloud Hub
Yeah.
the other day, and he said that's
Yep.
what they're working on next. Is that the ability to do the
Right.
red room, blue room, or whatever they're going to call it.
Right.
That is
my
that's your biggest
my
thing.
biggest obstacle to Clout Hub is when I log on, and all I see is like you and Darth saying, "I hate you, liberal," and then I get and then
I don't say I hate anyone,
Well, okay,
but
all right,
I just
but-
rip them to shreds
but-
piece by
okay,
piece.
okay. But what you see what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
I log on and I'm like, Lisa, go away because we don't like you. And I get sad, and I'm like,
I know, we can't help your...
okay, I'll go back another day. Maybe somebody will post a picture of a flower or something.
Oh, you actually liked one of my things, that dog I did the other day.
Because it wasn't,
I know,
So,
I need to do less...
So there's somebody that posts pictures of, like, rainbows and flowers and crap, and I like her.
That's Hippie Chick.
That doesn't
She's awesome.
help. Yeah.
I love Hippie Chick.
Yeah!
Well, that's Lisa.
Yeah, but see, I can't make you...
Oh, you like Hippie Chick?
I
She's
can't
cool.
make the other people go
She
away.
should be in the chat room,
Right,
too.
so
Somebody
wait,
tell her to come join.
So does Robin...
Robin, would you like one of those boxes? Anybody else, seriously. They're absolutely free.
And
they
they're not
have
paying...
to be given away before midnight tonight.
And they are not paying me, and I really...
Right. We gain nothing from this. We're only trying to be nice, and if you don't,
give one to Alicia. But anyway.
Yeah, you should.
So.
Call her. Wait, after the show. Or text her. Just text her.
Okay, so the one we made last night, which...
Yeah. That was yummy.
Me off because the sauce was the same color as the ravioli.
I know! I couldn't tell there was any sauce on it.
Lobster ravioli and shrimp in a lemon cream sauce with zucchini ribbons.
But it wasn't cream.
It was cream.
The sauce. I mean,
yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay.
It was. And so I gave it to Chuck, and he's like, what should I put on this? Okay, first of all... etiquette. This is a thing. It goes back to, I remember somebody told me, J.C. Penney, the person, used to base his hiring decisions on if somebody put salt and pepper on their food before they ever even tasted it, he would immediately not hire them.
Really?
Hello? Taste the freaking food.
Well, I do, but I didn't see any sauce on it. That's
why
I was like, hello, I'm going to eat some raviolis with nothing on. You can't
first.
You can't even see the sauce on there.
It was invisible sauce. What if it was like the most delicious sauce that you ever had in your entire life?
It's invisible.
So I give him a plate of food, and he goes, what should I put on it?
I did.
It's got sauce on it.
It looked like it lacked sauce. We need the sauce.
You look like you lack sauce. So anyway, that was good, even though Chuck was a dumbass and he didn't know.
Anyway, just send me a personal message or whatever.
Hey, Chuck.
We never made this one because we used the food for something else.
Yes, sir.
Chuck, my standard answer to anyone in a restaurant, is there enough sauce? The answer is no.
Yeah.
They could bring a truckload and dump it on my plate and ask, is that enough? And the answer would still be no.
All right. Hey, Dershie in the chat room, so it's you and me for a couple minutes, buddy. I guess we shouldn't talk politics while she's gone. We got she yelled.
We got Jerry in line. Let's bring him in and give him a chat to him, talk to him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry, how's it going, brother?
All righty then.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, great, man. Good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Everybody in our chat room, this is Jerry. He's one of our very good friends from Twitter. We've known him for years, and he's a brother.
Yeah,
welcome, brother.
He's also on Cloud Hub, but he's never there.
Trying.
He's never there.
So Jerry,
you go walk with the dog for 4 miles. Why don't you take your phone with you and post?
Jerry.
Because I'm walking 2 dogs at the same time.
Well, Lisa's gone. Let's cycle back to NASCAR, Chuck, and let's see what Jerry thinks about the...
Oh, good idea. Let's do that. Jerry, what did you think of the race, brother?
I didn't really catch much of it because we had a family function. We had a baptism. So
that's right. Yeah.
Oh, right. That was a beautiful baptism too. Sure the baby looked so pretty.
Yeah, she did really well. Really good.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Grandpa.
It was nice. I just missed trying to get my guy getting Blaney out of the garage that time.
Yeah, because when you sent us pictures, it was like 2 laps to go. So
yeah, so it was running late, and we just couldn't. You know, one of those deals.
Jerry called in.
So everybody in the wee wee chat room says hi.
How many people are in there?
Well, Jerry,
Criminy.
you lost some.
Hey,
you lost
Lisa,
some
say
ground
hi,
there.
Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. I will finish your
Jerry.
blanket someday. I promise.
Yeah,
Someday
my-
before
my
the kid
granddaughter's-
graduates high
He's almost
school.
out of high school now.
I know, right? It's okay. She can put it in her baby book.
She give it to her kid.
There you go.
Jerry's
Right.
Jerry's gonna have a great granddaughter by
Hey.
the time he gets that blanket.
Hey, I promise I'll finish it
That's
before.
true.
Hey, I promise I'll finish it before I have a grandkid. How about that?
That'll be forever.
I'll
None
never
of our
have-
kids
I
seem to
never
be able to
have
procreate.
one. I know. My grandmother was 47 when I was born. I feel deprived.
So, what's
So anyway.
happening? What's happening in your world, Jerry?
Jerry World.
Not politically. We'll
Jerry-
save that for the after.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, everybody, Jerry
Yeah.
joins us in the after show.
The after show.
We-
It's like
we
the
do a-
afterlife.
It's like the afterlife. Wait, we after the show, we stick around, and Lisa runs away because she doesn't want to hear
And I
us,
have a job.
and she has a job and has to sleep and everything. Jerry has
Yeah.
a job too, but he's 1 hour earlier, so it doesn't affect him so badly.
And he's younger.
And oh yeah, he's a puppy, isn't he?
He's a
You're not
puppy.
even
I'm ancient.
50. Are you? Jerry,
Nobody wants my box of food.
are you? Is there anybody in there?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We lost Jerry.
Did we lose anybody?
Yeah, Jerry's there.
We lost Jerry?
I'm here.
He's there.
I'm here.
Oh.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
here.
Oh.
Oh, good. You were quiet. What did we ask him?
If he was alive? They're just going to send us some salsa this year?
Oh, yeah. Hey, so you had a big storm up there the other day, and your vegetables were endangered for our salsa. Did they survive?
Yeah. I'm gonna make a batch this weekend.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Probably Sunday. But unfortunately, I gotta buy some tomatoes to do it.
Oh, no.
'Cause our-
Did you lose some of those
our
in the
plants
storm?
No, our plants are just about 2 weeks behind. All
Gotcha.
except the peppers. I got a lot of peppers, but hardly any tomatoes. So
You grow beautiful looking vegetables.
Next year I'm having a garden.
Yes. We have room.
I know we have
We have
room.
place.
I know.
So, Jerry,
put it in.
that's awesome. Jerry likes to cook. Darcy likes to eat. I like to eat. Lisa likes to cook. And our friend Sneaky Dog likes to cook.
Somebody take
How about
these
you guys in
freaking
the chat room? Do you like
boxes
to
of
cook or
food.
eat?
Somebody take the boxes of food.
Oh, yeah. And please, Jerry, do you want a box of food? Lisa was talking about before. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so the one we got had a bunch of, some pork tenderloin, some chicken, some...
And it comes with all the
It's
fixings.
basically, I think, it's 3 meals for 2 people, so, yeah, and they put everything in a bag and you just make it, and even if you didn't want what came in the bag, you could still use the meat for
Or
something.
you could use it for something else.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But the
meat,
recipes are really good
They
and
are
really
good.
simple.
They're
And
really
we've had
simple.
5 of them so far, as we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And they're very tasty.
Quick meal deal.
Yeah, like a quick meal
it's-
in case you don't want to have to work at cooking dinner that night.
They send you a big cooler full of food, and all the recipes are sectioned out into a bag. But one of the nights we decided we didn't really want the recipe that they had, so we used the pork for something else.
All right.
But
My wife did that a lot,
it's
Lisa,
great.
when she was trying those things out.
What's that?
My wife did that a lot. She was
Yeah.
trying those, she's like, yeah, I don't want to eat this part, so I'm just going to throw that away and,
Right.
she'd add something
Well,
in.
we didn't really throw it away, except that there were carrots, and Chuck has some aversion to carrots, apparently.
So, how long did you guys use them?
Hey, I don't believe that.
Eat them.
Chuck is Bugs Bunny. How could Bugs Bunny have a version of
I
carrots?
know, right? But he likes carrot cake, so how can he not like carrots? You
Well,
freak.
I love eating raw carrots, to be
Well,
honest.
we have raw carrots. What's wrong with you?
Give me one, I'll scrape it off and eat it.
There's 27 of them in the
Well,
refrigerator.
then just don't cook them, because when they get mushy, they're mushy.
Yeah,
But you like carrot
Oh,
cake.
good. Hey, look.
I hate
What?
mushy
Where?
carrots too.
Where?
Look at Robin and Wolf's.
What? Wait.
Look at Robin and Wolf's. You've given all 3 away.
Wait,
But you
where?
guys,
Wait.
Did you leave again?
No, I'm right here.
You see
It's
the
not
messages?
updating. No, it's not updating. Hold on.
It's because you're not there.
I am there. I'm on YouTube.
Bugs Bunny is
okay,
not
first
racist.
of all, I
Bugs
can't.
Bunny is my hero, Wolf.
Nope. Okay, all right.
I've got so many memes using Bugs Bunny, it's
Okay,
ridiculous.
He do.
wait. Well, I don't have
Hysterical.
people's emails though.
I really do.
So who wants?
I like the one that where it's song off California.
Dude.
Sorry, guys in California.
Wait,
I love you guys, but I
but-
don't love the crazies there. Sorry. Yes, dear.
Where do I see this?
Do you see the messages where it says Bugs Bunny is racist?
No. Where? On YouTube? I'm on YouTube.
On our thing.
No, I'm not on page.
For a computer geek, you're not being very computer geeky today.
You said go to YouTube.
No, yeah, right there. On the right.
Where?
There, right there.
Where?
Right there.
I don't have anybody's email address. I need your actual email address.
Read what they said.
I
Right
will
there.
send you my.
There you go. It's right there.
I'm gonna
Right
be asleep
there.
by 12 o'clock.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
Well,
By
then,
midnight, I've been up since.
all right. Go to
5:30.
Clout Hub on your phone.
No, I don't want to.
Message.
No,
Honey, you
No.
gotta do. If you want to
No.
give them away before midnight, you gotta do it.
I don't want to do it. They can send me their email address.
I know they're gonna do that to your message on Clout Hub.
Oh God,
And
I hate Clout Hub.
You're not going there. You're going to your messages. Don't do that. I know that Clout Hub does messages. Actually, I'm being silly because I've talked to like
What?
Jeff and stuff on there quite often.
I hate Clout Hub.
Anyway, so what? So Patriot Wolf and Robin will get you hooked up.
All right, I'm looking right now.
Just
sorry.
send a message.
What? I know,
Who's
right?
streaming?
I'm gonna catch on
That
fire.
was Lisa.
I'm gonna catch on going to Clout Hub. I'm gonna catch on fire.
We've gone beyond
Hang
the
on.
rabbit hole. We're nearly to China.
I gotta go post something about liberals on Cloud Hub. Hang on.
Shut up, Durst.
It's so bad. Well, we're not there right now, so it's not us posting
you're
unless somebody
telling me to
reposts
go
it.
on there.
I'm-
I only have 2,209 messages on Clout Hub.
Golly. Oh, those
You know
are,
why?
those-
Not messages, posts.
mentions. Oh.
No, not mentions. Posts.
What's that,
But I-
Durst?
I'm on Cloud Hub right now while you're doing the show.
Oh, well, turn your phone straight
Don't
instead of
be-
sideways.
Don't be mean.
Yeah,
I know it's hard.
the brightness is too funky.
I got one message.
It's all good.
No. Durst, you said, hey, look
So-
at Chuck and Lisa show.
You're Louise. You're Louise on Cloud
Yeah, I'm
Hub too,
Louise
right?
on everybody.
Hey, Whoa, message Lisa. Send her your thing and she'll send that to you
Yeah.
right away.
Yep.
Okay? Because you got to do this before midnight. So it's time
Well, I
sensitive.
have to send it before midnight.
Right, and Robin, if you want to do that, you have to do that too, please. Moving right along,
Moving right
Mr.
along.
Jerry is here,
Hi, Mr. Jerry.
and we were talking about food. And did you complete your whole thing on your fast foods? On your
More
not
or
fast
less.
foods,
Well,
but-
okay, more or less. So
Wrap that up.
my basic,
This is like
Point
making a
was-
blanket.
we tried a bunch of them. We tried Blue Apron. What did he say?
What'd you say?
Oh my God, you guys are like the Three Freaking Stooges.
Ba-dum-bum. What'd you say, Jerry?
He says like making a
That's
blanket.
a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be novel, wouldn't it?
Because it's
Anyway,
gonna take a long time
so
to get
yeah,
emails.
so
Hey.
I've tried.
Jerry,
I've
just
tried.
hope a
I've tried-
blanket's not as long as getting an autograph.
No kidding.
Oh, you got the damn
In 2
autograph.
years,
Well, so what?
it took you 2
The
years.
kid will only be 2. She could still use a blanket.
No, we
Oh gosh.
That's funny.
maybe was. It's not the same as the other one you made?
No, it could be huge. I
Oh,
could
okay.
make it like. I could make it.
Okay, it's going to be a Parker for when the kid goes to college.
It's gonna be a freaking comforter at this point, okay?
What, for when she's old?
No, she can put it on her bed.
When she's old.
She checks
When
into
she's
the
2.
nursing home. She has a blanket with her.
Busting on Lisa.
Hey,
You're so
Lisa,
mean. I don't like you.
what's worse?
Anyway, I don't
What's worse,
have
your,
any
your
messages
show or
on.
Cloud Hub?
I got nothing. Look, I got nothing. Wait, what?
Is she under the? What is she
What?
under on Cloud Hub? She is Louise.
Louise.
Laweeez.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
No, Laweez.
Look at this.
All right, so we're giving away food. That's our first giveaway, and we still haven't made a penny anyway.
I know. Seriously, this is not. I'm not making any money.
We talked about picky. No, we didn't
Well,
really talk about.
we kind of sort of did.
I
I messaged my kids today, and of course, I only heard back from 2 out of the 3 because middle child never answers me back.
Right.
And I said, what did I used to make that you liked, and what did I used to make that you didn't like, or maybe you didn't like anything that I made. So just like, let me know. So 2 of them said enchiladas. Remember the little enchiladas with the rice? They're not really enchiladas, but the thing that I made with the rice.
What?
Yeah.
Goo.
No, they're not goo.
Enchilada goo. No.
No. Okay. Well, speaking of goo,
You also
Mommy said chicken goo.
Chicken goo.
Right. So there's this thing that was a quick meal that I read somewhere else. I didn't even make up, but it was like a can of. What was it? A can of chicken, cream of chicken soup, a can of veg. I think there was something else, but I don't really remember. That might have been it. And then you make rice, and then you would cook the chicken soup and the vegetables together, and then dump it over the rice.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds disgusting, but it's really good and really filling and really quick.
That's like that grandma's chicken and rice thing that Stouffer's makes. It's a lot like that.
It's pretty similar.
It's very similar.
And there was no name for
You
it,
made it for me.
so we called it chicken goo.
Why not?
Yeah, you don't take any.
Stuff like
you
that's
don't.
so
you
good.
don't take.
Filling.
I know you don't take any of the liquid out of the cans.
I should have been a Chinaman in the ways because I could eat rice with every single meal. I think.
Right.
But
it's
just like the
seriously, they
perfect
liked
food
it.
to
They're
me.
like, Mom, make chicken goo.
Yeah.
And that's all it was. Oh, I'm sorry. And hello, a can of chicken. You have to throw that in there
Right.
too.
The canned chicken.
Like canned chicken.
Yeah. That works perfectly.
So anyway.
your daughter was never a picky eater, I'm betting.
No, not really.
No.
None of them really were. But see, we had a unique circumstance.
Mikey was.
We had a unique circumstance where their dad worked for Domino's.
Okay.
So
Ate a lot of pizza.
2 or 3 nights a week they could get, Dad, bring us a pizza or bring us chicken wings or chicken nuggets or whatever. So that helped a lot because we were really busy with the soccer stuff and
Right. You were constantly on the road with the soccer stuff.
Yeah, so they ate pizza quite often. And I suck, but whatever.
My daughter was very difficult to feed. She basically had 3 food groups: ramen,
white, yellow, and brown.
mac and cheese,
right. White, yellow, and brown. Those
hot
were
dogs,
right,
or cheeseburgers. Well,
Yeah.
4 food groups.
Yeah.
That was about all
Cream.
the kid would eat. And
ice cream, milkshakes.
I
candy.
tried the you've got to sit here and
Carbs.
eat thing with vegetables, and I got her to eat green beans.
Did you?
I did. She would eat green beans because they're just like long, crunchy, semi-crunchy
Should have told her
things.
they were green ramen noodles.
Oh man! We used to belong to we've always belonged to the big box clubs, and I can't tell you how many cases of ramen I've bought in her lifetime. She's now a full-grown adult, but up until she was
she's a full-grown woman.
Yeah, what? She was 20, I guess, when we stopped buying cases of ramen.
I don't know.
Something like that. And even when she was at college, get me more ramen.
Yeah.
Yep. And granted, that's the universe of college kids.
Not
too.
the healthiest thing you can eat.
No, that
By
and SpaghettiOs is not a good one. But what are you gonna do? So she was a picky eater, and I wasn't really surprised because, as I said, I was a very picky eater. And made my mother's life a little bit difficult for that reason. I admit it. And, you know, what do you do about picky eaters? You have to accommodate, or
Kill
do you
them.
have to make them sit there forever?
Kill them.
Your opinion, Miss Lisa.
My opinion.
Not kill them.
My opinion. All right. My opinion is people have survived up until now, not having their mothers make them macaroni and cheese if they. Okay, so first of all, this is where this came from. That commercial. Where the kid didn't like something, and then the mom made macaroni and cheese for everybody.
Wolf sent you a message.
On.
God.
Well, I'm not. That's
Yes,
on my
you
phone.
are. I know.
No.
That is my one biggest
Okay, wait.
thing about
All right.
Hub right now is once you guys get on my
Hold on.
computer,
Hold on.
I'm going to be
Wait,
so
look,
happy. On the
that's-
phone is great, but you get it?
No,
Are you having to see the little envelope at the
I
top?
did that, and
Push
it said
on
there wasn't anything there. Look.
No, others.
Oh, because nobody's
There
my
you go.
friend on Clout Hub. That's why.
Oh, it's because you're a liberal.
Oh,
Ah!
oh, I just need the. Oh, dude, I need your just your email, not your address. Okay, I only need your
No,
email.
hey, Wolf.
Yeah.
Just give Lisa your email there. She'll keep that.
No,
open so
again,
you
no,
can see
I
it.
don't. No, it's not literally sending you a box of food. It's me sending you a link.
Yeah,
where
and then
can
you
get
go,
the box
and then
of
you
food. Yeah.
go to the place, fill out the thing.
And-
Then you put in the address, and they send it to you.
Right.
You're really gonna like it.
It's really
it's
good.
like
And you can choose. Like you don't like if you don't like chicken or you don't
Right.
like pork.
Like if you went to a restaurant, these are like $10 meals each.
But they're for I think they. Well, this one's free, but obviously.
Right. But
they average out being $5 or $6
Yeah.
a piece if you keep doing it.
since they're like half the price of going
Which
to a
is-
restaurant for a restaurant quality
Which
meal.
is if you go
Which I think is pretty cool.
to fast food and you get a
Oh my
meal
God.
or whatever, that's $7
Well,
now.
by the
So
time you get through getting a burger, fries, and soda, and maybe a dessert, you're at $8-10
right.
easily.
So and seriously, they are not promoting us. They are not paying us. To
Nobody
promote
pays
this.
us.
Nobody pays us crap.
Exactly.
But-
Nothing.
It's HelloFresh,
Yeah.
and we like that.
All right, so we've done that, and Patriot Wolf is
Yeah.
going to
So
send
if you
you
can,
that.
send me your email if you want the free box of food. Email
Yep.
excuse me.
And do it soon because Lisa will be asleep soon.
in about 5 minutes.
Yep. Dershie, what's the clock say?
The clock says we've been on the on the air for an hour and 2 minutes.
The
There you
clock-
go.
Oh,
We
you know
did
what's
it
funny?
again.
We do 105 every time.
We do
Like,
105 every time. So,
The clock doesn't say anything. You have to look at it, by the way. Dad joke.
ha ha ha. Well, unless you have a talking clock, of course.
That would be annoying. Become like you.
So, Mr. Dershie, at the end of this show, tell them how it changes over from being the Chuck and Lisa show to the Monsters After the Show.
Where I can go in the house and watch you.
where liberals will run away and conservatives will smile.
Yeah,
Oh, look at the kitty.
We'll run a interlude and give Lisa time to run away, and then Jerry will bring Jerry in and continue the show as an extension
Cool.
of the right side of politics with Chuck Dersh and Jerry, and it's
Jerry.
it's actually called Lisa Left, so we're all right.
I made that up too.
That's right. So what we're going to do is
That was
Lisa's
the cat, by the way.
going to leave in a minute or two.
No.
And
That was the
we're
cat.
going to continue the show with me and Dersh, and Jerry often joins in. And Robin is
Look
not
at
going
this.
to. I know she loves it in
She's
here.
not gonna. She doesn't want
No,
one.
she's not. She was trying to talk husband into it, but he said no. We always
that's
buy
fine.
bulk our feet to feed
Oh,
our
that's fine.
teenagers. I can't blame you. It's
That's
awesome.
fine.
Wolf says, "Nice to meet you, Lisa." And we, so guys, if you are on on here now don't go anywhere. We're just going to switch over and we'll still be here, right, Dersh?
Aw.
Or do they
We
have to
will.
go somewhere else?
Nope, they're going to be right
I
here.
have a
No
feeling your
problem.
cat is a
Right.
conservative.
So we'll be right here. So if you're conservative and want to hear us rant about conservative things, stick right here. And if you're liberal, run away when we're done.
Amen.
Right, Lisa?
Gracie's
All
a
right.
conservative, apparently.
Love you, Lisa.
All right. So, Lisa,
Hey,
say goodnight, Lisa.
good night, Dersh. Good night,
Lisa.
Lisa. Good night, Chuck.
Please join us next week for the Chuck and Lisa show again. We are at 9:30, unlike 9 o'clock, which I screwed up and told
Next week we're
everybody.
going to talk about stupid North Carolina and stupid hemp laws.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
because hemp has so many uses. We need to talk about this. So
And
that
they're
people
just
understand.
doing this really stupid thing where they don't want to let us have the hemp. The hemp.
They don't want you to have the hemp.
The hemp.
All right, my dear. I will see you back in the house when we're done.
Oh, look at Gracie. She's having so much fun. This
Yeah,
is
she
her
loves
camper.
out here.
Our cat loves
Yep,
it.
our black cat loves hanging out in the camper
This is
here
our
when
house.
we come out here.
This is
So are you heading out, Lise?
You're kicking me out, aren't you?
Well, I know you're not going to want to
You know
hear
what? I
it.
should just leave these out here. So
Yeah,
that
you
way
could.
the dogs and the
I might
cats
just
don't.
leave it. Oh, you just did it again.
Oh, well.
That's twice she's
Oh,
knocked
wow.
the microphone off.
Oh, well.
You silly Willie.
Look.
All right, where'd you put him? Let's see.
Just leave them out here.
I know, before it becomes a knot, I'm going to fix it. There you go. Keep him right there.
Gracie.
All right, cool.
Look.
Um,
Here.
honey, we're in the middle of a show. All right,
We're
anyway.
not in the middle of a show.
Oh,
We're in the.
well, we haven't signed off yet.
You said we were done.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week. We love you guys. Dershie, switch us over to the other show.
You said we were.
Alrighty. Alright, hello and welcome back. We still got people out there in the chat room, people listening to us. The Chuck and Lisa show's over and we transitioned into Lisa has left, so we're all right with Chuck, Dersh,
And boy, are we right.
Jerry. It's an extension of the right side of politics. So say hello, Jerry, again.
So,
Jerry is our sometimes guest host with us. When he's not walking the dog or doing something else important, he joins us, which is really kind of fun. Love to see you, Jer. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really well. How about you guys?
I'm
Good.
doing better than I deserve, but you already knew that.
I know. Isn't that amazing? What do you think you deserve? I've always wondered that.
I would honestly, if you want to know, so I use this as an intro to talk about Christ, because when people say really something like what do you deserve or what do you mean by that, I deserve eternal damnation in hell, but through the saving grace of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I get more than I deserve. So I'm always better than I deserve, because I deserve to be shunned by God, and thankfully I'm not.
That is the wonderful thing about Jesus, isn't it?
Amen.
We are redeemed for our sins. Hey, we're talking about God. I love that.
Yeah, amen.
Amen.
I talk about God all week long too. You're not gonna.
Amen, man. You know what? You're right. We talk about God a lot, and some people are offended by it. And frankly, I don't care. If you're offended by it, that's your problem eternally, not ours. You know.
Yep.
Anyway, so we have had an interesting day today on politics, have we
I
not?
have no idea, Chuck. It's been incredible.
I do. I watched it all.
Oh man, it's been an absolute laugh fest from the Democrats today. Mueller himself is an absolute joke. The guy obviously
He truly is.
He obviously had no control whatsoever over this investigation.
No,
You can tell he doesn't even know
he had no
what's
clue.
in the Mueller report with his name on it. It's just so embarrassing. And I have to say, man, Nunes,
it was horrible.
Nunes and what's that dude from Texas? Radcliffe?
Oh, Getz.
Radcliffe
And Getz. Don't forget
Getz. And Jim Jordan, they absolutely
They all
Mueller.
kicked butt.
Spanked him. It was so embarrassing. I had so much fun.
To start with, it was really embarrassing for Mueller because he's diminished. Well, let's put it that way. He's not very sharp.
Big time.
He really didn't know what he was talking about. He obviously had not written or read his own document.
Yeah,
You could tell.
It was
He was
clear.
asking for pages for every damn thing.
He had no idea, Chuck. I mean, no, where anything was, what it said, and he said, how many times did he say, well, if that's what the report says, then I agree with it. I mean, seriously?
Yeah, I actually read. Do you know how many times he said? Can you repeat yourself? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, he apparently needs a hearing.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
Well, I've heard a couple of people say that he's deaf. Oh man,
all right. Yeah,
it's just
more than
amazing.
that.
He was so bad.
it was.
Go ahead,
It
Jerry.
was
He's not all there.
I mean, I felt bad for the guy in a way because he just
Oh,
was
hell no.
kind of. But he
Karma.
used his claiming that he wasn't allowed to because of FBI regulations as the fifth today, basically.
That was ridiculous.
He didn't want to say a damn thing. He didn't want to admit a damn thing. And he said he'd never even heard of the Steele dossier.
Oh,
He was
right.
lying.
Yeah, I mean, that's an absolute lie. He perjured himself there. There's no way he doesn't know about the Steele document.
Yep.
And if
Yep,
he
yep,
doesn't,
yep.
if he doesn't, he's far more incompetent than I even thought. And that's hard to do.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we just lost somebody. We had a caller. I was about to put the caller on the air, and they bugged out. Whoever that was.
Oh, no.
Whoever that was, call us back, please. We'd love to talk to you.
Whoever you are, call back.
Yeah, please do. Absolutely.
We love callers. We love everybody to join in. Absolutely. It's a party. It's a bash the left party. He didn't write. Okay, getting back to this whole thing today. He didn't write it. He didn't read it. He looked old, frankly, and he looked doddering. He looked like a lot of people use the word dementia, to be honest. And he didn't do the Democrats a damn favor at all.
No, If you saw any of the coverage in the liberal media, they were saying this was like
He did awesome.
No, they said the opposite. They said this was an apocalyptic. It was bad.
Yep.
Over and over, you heard that it was bad. It was bad for the Democrats. It was a loss for the Democrats. Yeah. So if you're hearing that on the liberal media, you know the guy did bad.
Yep. ABC News, one of the reporters there, impeachment is over. That was the headline. They can't impeach Trump. There's nothing to impeach him on.
Never was.
There never was. It was all created, and what's his face just wanted no part of it today because he knew that anything he said would get him for perjury, and he'd be screwed. So he just basically pled the fifth on everything.
But it was worse than pleading the fifth. And, he
Oh, it was bad.
he didn't even know enough to plead the fifth, Chuck. It was embarrassing.
I know. Everything he just said, nope, current investigation or whatever, nope, can't talk about it, policies, da 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 da. And it was just crap. Wolf said today that Rush hit on it today, and it's all about his integrity, but he did.
Well,
I got my cat over there having a party with the metal blinds.
Wolfman needs to call in and give us
Yes.
an account, because I don't watch Rush, so I'd like to know what he had to say. Give us a call, Wolfie. You know the number.
It's Wolfman.
It's the same number as
Give us a go.
It's posted in the chat area. So call us, Wolfie.
Yeah.
So which one?
Yeah, we always like getting calls. It's good fun.
Which one was your favorite today, guys? Chuck?
Well, it's a toss-up. The first one is definitely him claiming that he had never been in to meet Trump personally for an interview. The day before them, when they were hiring him, he was in the White House. He was in the Oval Office. And who confirms this? The Vice President of the United States.
Right.
Mueller lied outright. And then the second one, that he was not familiar with Fusion GPS. What a lie! I mean, I would. How can you not? If you're the director of the FBI, did they have this guy wheeled into a corner because he's drooling? Or was he actually involved? Or was that guy, what's his name, Weissman?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yep.
Okay. He looks like he was the probable one who wrote the dossier, who wrote the Mueller report, and handled all these things with Fusion GPS. Now, Fusion GPS, let me get right to this. Hillary, this whole thing is involving Fusion GPS, Steele dossier, with Hillary's campaign paying for it. Mueller has been a Democrat his whole life. He's obviously political because of his relationship with Comey and everything, and familiar with everything that's been going on in house. He knew.
They just worked together.
He knew who
They weren't
GPS
friends.
was. He would have. He again lied outright. Oh yeah, they only played golf together 20 million times. They weren't friends. They were just colleagues. Crap.
So, Jerry, what do you think was
A lot more times that he perjured himself.
Jerry, what do you think the most interesting part was today?
Geez, it's so hard to say. It was kind of cool when Getz lit him up, or what's his name, Gomer
Louis Gohmert, yeah.
from Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, Louis
Gomer just lit. Yeah, he lit him up too, and then there was a female, I can't remember her name too, but she hammered him pretty good, and she told him outright, all your stuff here is just basically talking points from each media site.
Right.
His whole thing was
exactly.
That's all it was. Is like little talking points from each one, and most of it was from like CNN, CNBC. She told him how many times.
New York Times and Washington Post. He mentioned that. Yep.
Yeah.
It's usually the Times and the Post that he is quoting in often cases and uses for his sources. Yep. The whole thing is manufactured. I mean, it's a media collaboration with foreign governments and everything else. This is just the biggest coup in the world, really. I mean, because you got Australia who started it, you've got England who's involved, you've got the Democrats. You've got how many other countries are they going to discover are actually involved? It's amazing.
It's incredible. My favorite part, I believe, was I'm pretty sure it was Jim Jordan, where Jim Jordan brought up the fact that Mueller prosecuted, 5 people from the administration on lies, but he didn't prosecute the 2 guys, Weiss and Steele, for lying to the FBI, and it's in the Mueller report where he documents in the report where Weiss lied 3 times to the FBI, and it's a simple question: if you're going to prosecute 5 members of the Trump administration for lying, why didn't you prosecute the man who started the whole thing?
Right.
And lied 3 times to the FBI. How can you possibly not prosecute that guy?
I agree.
It's just amazing. Right. And of course, Mueller had no answer, because the real answer is, I was after Trump. I wasn't after the truth. And he clearly, you can see it there, they were not after the truth. They were after Donald Trump.
Right, because with all the evidence, when all the evidence started pointing towards Hillary's crap, how come they just dropped that? Rubber stamp, we're closing the case, sealing the records.
That's the other thing. If his mandate, and someone else asked him that too, I think it was Nunes. You're right. He said, Nunes was like, your mandate was to find Russian collusion. And there's clear evidence that the Clinton campaign colluded with Russia on this to get the Steele document and other things. Why didn't you investigate that?
And why hasn't he mentioned a single? He hasn't mentioned a single damn thing about it. Any of it. He never mentioned Clinton's whatsoever. I mean, he didn't mention a couple things that were really, really important. Very disturbing. I mean, even today he had a chance to say, well, their ongoing investigations. I mean, he said that about everything, basically.
Well, anything he didn't want to answer. Yeah, exactly right.
Right, anything he didn't want to answer. It's an ongoing investigation. Jerry, so what was your favorite moment?
Well, the Jim Jordan one, that was good. But I think Getz too. I think his Getz hammered him. He came on just on fire too, and I think the fact that he just said, well, one of them said, "Thank God for Barr."
That was
Barr is going to get.
That was Jim Jordan. At the end of his, he said the good news.
That was pretty cool.
The good news is, Barr is going to be finding these answers. Basically saying, we know you weren't going to, because your whole committee is biased, and Barr is. And that was the other point that they brought up. Nunes brought up. He listed, the 19 main people on that investigation were all Trump haters, and
all Hillary supporting Democrats.
All Hillary supporting. So a lot of them worked for Hillary and her campaign. They're all clear Trump haters. Not one person that supported Trump was in that investigation.
By the way, the guy sitting next to Mueller, giving him all that advice today and being his lawyer, was Hillary's lawyer.
Right.
He has this conflict of interest. He should not be there. And the guy is the one who wrote the report, and he worked for Hillary. And and just think about that for a second. The guy that it turns out looks like wrote the report, because any questions that Mueller had about the report, he immediately turned to him. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, those 19 lawyers who hate Trump I can't remember his name, wrote the freaking report without Mueller knowing. Mueller might really be a dupe on this whole thing and might really not know, because he is definitely debilitated in his abilities. And that was obvious today.
I think it's kind of clear that he was duped, Chuck. I mean, to be honest with you. He knew nothing about his own report. It's just crazy. It blows my mind.
That was the only thing I take away from today is that he did not rate the report. He did not read the report. He did not know the report. When he had to ask what page everything was on each time, I was like, hello, you wrote it, dude.
I had to read it to him,
Well, that's what the Democrats are doing too. The Democrats were cherry picking words and sentences and asking Mueller if he wrote that, and Mueller would say yes, and then say, read something else. Did you write that? And Mueller would say yes. Yada yada, whatever. I mean, seriously, was there one single Democrat on that committee that asked a legitimate and serious question?
Nope, I don't believe so.
Every one of them, they were just reading the script, and apparently, according to sources, the Democrats had an emergency meeting beforehand to go over
that shows their stupidity.
the testimony.
Yeah, that just shows their stupidity when they come out and they can't even,
Yes.
It's just crazy. And then you see the Republicans, they did their homework.
No, they did.
Clearly they did, yes, absolutely. Hey, Chuck,
I love what you posted, by the way.
I'm showing the world your pretty face, Chuck. Your video is on now, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
It'll be there. Well, remember, you're a little behind, so you're live.
Oh, I'm on delay.
It'll be up
there
in a second. So.
I'm on delay. Hey, while we're... I love that meme that you sent me, that quote from Trey Gowdy. Yeah. The person who learned the most about the Mueller report today was Bob Mueller. And that's a fact. Because this guy knew nothing about it.
That's absolutely the truth. All right, hey, we got Woofy called back, so hang on. Let me get Woofy in on the conversation here.
Woofy!
Wolfman, that you?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I just want to say, nice to meet you, Jerry. I've never met you, but it's good to hear you.
Yeah, Jerry's on CloutHub, but then he's still a Twitter guy. So although
he's a ghost,
Jack's getting pissed at him over there on Twitter, but we're trying to get Jerry to come over. Join the fun on CloutHub. That's where the action is right now.
Hey, that's fine. Jerry can be on. I'm on Twitter too. It's my. I was suspended 5 times, and now I've got a new one, but I'm still on Twitter. So.
Dersh and I each got through 6 and both quit. I think it is right, Dersh.
Yeah. After my 6th one, I was like, "That's I don't need Twitter anymore."
I said the hell with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. If Twitter doesn't want us that bad, we'll find things to do elsewhere.
Yeah. Anyway, so hey Wolfman, give us a recap of what Rush said today. I'm really interested in knowing.
Oh, that was good.
Well, I was looking. Actually, I messaged y'all on the text line that give me a second because I was looking up Rush Limbaugh's site because I didn't want to get this wrong. But he was reading Mueller's face, and he said every question that they were asking him, he looked confused. He looked like he didn't.
Sure did.
And the way Rush said was that he don't know. He knows nothing. He's never read it. He didn't write it. He did not know. He's getting asked questions. And he has no clue.
Right.
And
absolutely.
But his background, he was put there. The Democrats wanted him there because he was gonna make them look so good and give them something against Trump and yes, hell yeah. But he doesn't know anything.
That blew up in their face.
So,
big time.
Yeah, and Rush was basically like they screwed up, and now they're sitting there thinking, "What the f did we do?"
Well,
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
have
Russia
told him
had a
that.
lot of fun with that.
I could have told him that, and we talked about this before. Chuck and I have. We talked about it on the show. I had a Twitter argument when I was on Twitter with Lisa over 2 years ago when this whole thing started, and I told Lisa then there was nothing with the Russia. There's no collusion. Trump was not going to be impeached, and I said when this whole thing's said and done, there are going to be more Democrats answering for this Russia thing than there ever will be Republicans, and I think that's coming. And they shot themselves in the foot because all they cared about was getting rid of Trump, which I think from the very beginning,
Well, that's their whole goal, yeah.
a major mistake on their part. That's all they have. That's all they have.
Well, attempting a coup on the President of the United States is not your best idea.
Yeah, it doesn't
No.
doesn't work well. No, it doesn't.
Oh, no. We've got too many safeguards.
TDS is real.
If some of these people on the far left don't wake up after seeing all this, they're lost. They'll never be found.
Well, they are lost.
Good night, Robin. She says she's about to fall asleep. God bless you too.
Night, Robin.
Oh, God bless her too.
Love you, Robin. We'll see
Night,
you.
Robin.
We'll see you around the hub. Yeah. Anyway,
All right, so do we want to talk more about Mueller?
yeah, I think that's the topic of the day, man.
I'd love to hear Jerry talk about what he thinks about it.
All righty.
Well, yeah, that was all set. It's just all set up, and he has no clue. Even, like you said, Rush was talking about it today, and he was having a lot of fun with it, too,
Yes.
through the whole thing. He was making jokes, and it was funnier than hell. I
Yeah,
was just like, oh, my God.
I was listening to Andrew
That was
Wilkow
good.
during it, and Wilkow was doing the same thing. He would cut in, and especially it was getting frustrated because he cut in on the Democrats more than the Republicans, and he would just make jokes about how stupid their question was or how stupid Mueller's response was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because on Rush, they put together like a montage of some of his answers, like it was just so funny. It was just, he was having a good time with it. I think tomorrow he's just gonna light up the world too with it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well,
This will be the story of the day tomorrow.
I tagged Durst and Chuck in it, and I don't know, Jerry, if you've seen it, but somebody posted something on Twitter, or Twatter, however you want to say it, and it was of Mueller, an older version of him. He was messed up looking, and he was like, duh, and I laughed. I was crying.
Oh my God! I saw that Wolfman. Man, it was so funny. I sent to my brother and but everybody I could think of. Man, that was so funny because it looked like he'd been sitting there for like 5,000 years, and he was like, "Oh, that's outside of my purview."
He said the purview, and I posted something on Clout Hub. I said my purview was blocked because the sun was in my eyes till I put in my sunglasses, and I was like, God.
Hey, how many times did he
man.
say that? How many times did he say it's outside my purview? I mean,
He might as well have just said I plead the fifth every one of those times. Same
I
thing.
know, right?
well, you're right, Chuck. I mean,
Oh, my
you're
goodness.
exactly right because he was trying to avoid perjury because he knows
Exactly.
that's exactly what he was doing. He did not
Yeah.
want to perjure himself.
Exactly.
And he probably did
Exactly
anyway.
that. And he was trying to,
Yeah.
keep his reputation as he was retired. He just wants this to go away at this point. He realizes his great.
I want this to go away.
I do too, but we've got to prosecute the left. We can't just leave this beef for the people that created this mess. We have
Right.
to hang them.
They need to go to jail, and the deep
They need to be
state.
hung.
Deep state needs to.
This is
to be
treason.
punished.
This is a coup.
I don't want to hang anybody, but we need to
I
give
do.
these people long jail
I do.
terms.
3-1, you lose, Dersh.
Well,
Sorry.
I just don't. I don't think that's.
public hanging.
I don't think that's America. I mean, what they did was a coup,
We-
but They need to go to jail for a very, very, very long time, and we need to send a bunch of them and send a message to the deep state that this crap just got to end.
Do you know what they do in every country in the world when there's a coup? They line them up against a wall and shoot them, or they hang them.
Country. Thankfully, we're not every country.
Yeah, but we have to make a point of this. I mean, look what they did with Lincoln. You know, after he was assassinated, this is like an assassination, a coup against the president trying to take over the country.
Yep. Well, what I try to tell people, guys, is that, okay, if George Washington was to climb out of his grave, what would he do to these people? And be honest, what would he do to these people?
Oh, they would get hanged.
That's where they would be dead.
They'd be dead. He would have killed them instantly. When he had traitors amongst his ranks, they killed him then.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell people. What would our founding fathers do? Would they let him go? Would they feed him? Would they, no.
Nope, they wouldn't. Well, what are you going to do? So let's see. Hey, not to interrupt, but we always have our daily what did the squad do thing, Dersh?
The squat.
The squat. Today, Ilhan, the one who hates America, says we should be more fearful of white men.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've seen that.
But she's not racist.
She better
though.
be, because Glenn Beck is on
No.
her ass now.
She's not.
Now, she hates
racist.
America.
She's not racist, Chuck. Come on now. It's white people.
She hates it.
You're not racist.
She hates
if you hate white
America.
people.
We're only 70% of the country. You know, what are you gonna do? We're not gonna. Well, so we're like 35% of the country, white men.
But
you're not gonna get rid of us.
don't you know?
We are not going away.
Don't you know that you
No.
that you can't be racist if you're not white? You can't be. It's a power thing, Chuck. Come on now.
Here's a virtual dollar, Dercy. Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
I get told that all the time.
Yeah, I know, and I tell them the same thing.
By the left, no, you can't be racist if you're not white. Really? Come on.
The hell you can't. They're the most. We are probably the least racist, I would honestly say, because most of the white people I know are just like, this is crap. Stop it. We're not this way, and you just need to get over yourselves. And you know what? Ilhan's not even in the freaking country legally. She married her freaking brother, for God's sake.
Oh, she's in a lot of trouble.
She is. No,
She's leaving the country herself.
She's here. She's here legally. Glenn Beck did his thing on it tonight, and very detailed. And if you have a chance, you should take a look at it.
No, I mean because of the brother.
The brother's not here legally because she married her brother.
Well, no, but she married her freaking brother.
Now she's going to be
to get him into the country.
Right, but that doesn't make her
Omar's
illegal.
not her name.
Right. That's not her name. Like I said, Glenn.
That's not even her name.
No, Glenn did a really great in-depth thing, and she's here legally, but she came under a different name from her brother. Mm-hmm. And the thing that she's in trouble for is not that she's here illegally, but that she violated tax
immigration laws
for her brother, tax evasion, because she claimed to be married to one person and she was filing marital status with another person. She's perjured herself like 5 times, and she again, and we're going to see what Barr says, but the Minnesota Attorney General has passed on the whole thing. He says there's nothing there.
Right.
Well, look at that's Ellison.
Yeah.
Right, that's Ellison. What else is he going to do?
Ellison, right?
Isn't he a Muslim too?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Muslims protect each other because they are not the enemy of each other. We are. I mean, when you come out and say that we should be more fearful of white men, you're in the wrong place, honey. This country's full of white men.
Yeah.
And we don't hate each other. You feel any white guilt? Anybody?
No.
Noonan?
The other thing too is AOC came out today, and it was posted a couple times on CloutHub that AOC says that Americans should be responsible for paying for all these illegal people that are coming across our border.
Garbage. She doesn't want any borders.
Yeah,
I mean, that whole squad of theirs are all communists. They're all open borders. They'll probably get their paycheck directly from George Soros every month.
I'm sure.
Well, AOC, I think, okay, I don't know if y'all follow Q, and this could be another subject. I don't follow Q, like, totally, but I do believe in some things as far as the cabal, the deep state. There's somebody paying these people, just like the South Americans coming across the border. You can't tell me that this 300-pound man walked 3,000 miles with gold chains on his neck and a cell phone and ended up at the border to come into our country. I'm sorry. I'm not that freaking stupid. Somebody is doing this, and there's somebody above this, and I don't...
Yeah, they got...
I think they're trying to... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. They caught a, I believe it was an Arizona state senator, a woman, a Democrat, obviously, who was sending people from her office down to Mexico and finding these people and giving them money and handing them out literature on how to get into the country, how to sneak past the border patrol. Then if they get caught, she was telling them exactly what to say so that they would be able to stay in the country. So obviously she's getting funding from somewhere, because the state senator is not going to have that kind of money.
Right. Yep.
And we could all
take back to Omar.
We could take a wild guess at who's funding him too. I mean, it's probably not that hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Funny.
I think we already said his name. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people say Soros.
Oh, it's absolutely.
I tell people I think it goes far above him. I don't
think there is far above him, to be honest. I
Soros
think there are equals of his.
Really.
Yeah, Soros is a billionaire.
I think there are equals of his.
Maybe. Yeah. His son is doing the same thing.
Right. His two sons are taking over for the father.
Yeah.
In case you guys don't know it. And they are exactly of the same philosophy as the father. So that's problematic.
It really is.
Well, I know that Chuck and Durst, Jerry, I know I didn't know you at the time, but Chuck and Durst seen a lot of posts when I went to Washington, D.C. for the Trump rally, which was freaking, Jerry, awesome as frick. I loved it. But anyway, I went to the Holocaust Museum, and I told my grandma, I went to her house tonight, and I was showing her pictures of the Holocaust Museum. And I was taught in school back in the 80s, I was taught the truth about the Holocaust. I knew about it, but until I went through that museum, I come out of that. A woman asked me when I come out of that museum, "Did you learn anything?" And I said, my views on the Holocaust is just so much. I cried all the way through it. I was like, I couldn't believe what had happened. And now there was one part of it where before the concentration camps happened, Hitler was calling these places ghettos.
Correct.
Well, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, these people are calling these places around where I live in my city ghettos. This is not good. This is not good. And, and the government is keeping people down by government funding things. And I'm like, this is, you know, and I'm not trying to sound like AOC, because I hate, and Chuck and Durst knows I hate her so bad. And but anyway, I'm not trying to sound like that, but there is hints, little pieces of things that are falling under what happens in Germany. And you know, these people, and I'm hoping Candace Owens, I'm hoping Brandon, I'm hoping all these people are waking, and I don't like to say African Americans, but because I think we're all Americans. There's no subtitle to an American. We're Americans.
Correct.
And I hope they're waking people up enough to where we're, you know, Trump is going to win 2020. We're going to take this and we're going to get our country back, you know, but anyway.
No, you're right.
Trump's done more for the black people than the Democrats have ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, they have jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Highest employment, lowest unemployment in history.
Yeah, try saying that to a liberal
yeah.
too. It's incredible. You know, under Obama, they were at 22% unemployment. The real number was probably more around 25. So 1 in 4 blacks were unemployed. Right now, under Trump, it's the lowest it's ever been. But try to tell a liberal that, and they'll freak out. They don't believe it.
Oh yeah,
It's a lie. Trump's fixing the numbers, whatever. It's just absolutely incredible.
Yes.
I've never seen any. I mean, remember they used to talk about Bush derangement? Oh my God, that was nothing compared to Trump.
Nothing.
No.
I mean, they just disliked Bush, but they hate Trump. And the logic doesn't make any sense. It's all because they're too stupid and they follow the mainstream media. If you had listened to mainstream media 40 years ago, just 4 years ago, before Trump announced, every time he spoke, he'd be headlines. He'd be their darling. He'd be the one that they wanted to rave about. But now, as soon as he oh, they did. They absolutely adored him for many, many, many years. But as soon as he decided he was going to run for president as a Republican, that was the end of that. If he'd run it as a Democrat, they'd still love him.
Well, I think we talked about this before, Chuck, and Jerry and Wolfman. I'd like to get your opinion, but I think Trump came in because he wrote the Art of the Deal. I think Trump would have dealt with made deals with the Democrats. And would have done a lot of compromising on a lot of things. He started out even with the DACA thing. Build me the wall, and I'll give you 1.8 million rather than the 700,000 they're asking for.
Yes.
But the Democrats just pounded on him so much. Trump is like, screw you. I'm not going to deal with you people.
They killed DACA themselves by just the party of no.
Yes.
So I think they screwed themselves, because I really think Trump would have been willing to deal with them and make deals probably that
in some ways
that we wouldn't have liked a lot of, but well, it's clear he wanted to and he tried to, but they're just so close-minded, and the problem is it's because of who he beat. He beat Hillary.
Yeah.
Hillary was supposed to be anointed.
The crown princess.
Yeah, she was supposed to have been anointed, and that didn't work. So,
and all this information and evidence that we now have would have been completely destroyed by now. No one would ever hear of it. Nobody would ever see it. Trump would have just lost, as according to their plan, and they would have never admitted cheating. They never admit cheating. Even when they go voting 13 times.
No, who is the real people that went for the collusion? Who's the real people that went for... And I am so ready for them to go down for this. And Jerry asked me, I'm going to tell you, I put a video out there, and I believe Dersh and Chuck has seen it. It's called Plan to Save the World. And it goes back to JFK. It goes back to LBJ. For the next 200 years, we're going to own you, the N-word.
Yeah.
He said this. Well, then
Yep.
it goes
I
to
po- I
JFK.
posted
and
it this week.
JFK, yes, and JFK made the comment, we are going to get control of this. Yes, he was, and then he was assassinated. And
Of course.
and then all this other stuff. I mean, everything, and it's a conspiracy theory. I will admit that. We have no facts. I think there are facts out there, but we have none. We can just sit there and say, hey, the bullet come from this, JFK was this. But
Right.
he did have a plan. And then Reagan come up and he had a bullet shot at him. Trump, I was in Washington, D.C., and when I went up to the Lincoln Memorial, they had bulletproof glass all the way around where Trump was going to sit or
Yep.
stand. He's totally covered. I mean, so there is something going on. I believe in the deep state. I believe there's people out there that are trying to corrupt America. They're already getting Britain and Europe. They are so far. Oh my good Lord. I watched a video tonight of people breaking into stores and stealing stuff from people that own stores, and they were beating the crap out of these people and taking their stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
And like I was telling y'all, when I went to the Holocaust Museum, that was one of the things that happened under Hitler, was that the SS guards would go, they would hire people to go to these people's stores and tear them down, and they couldn't make money. They forced them out of it, and then all of a sudden they didn't have guns. They took their guns away. They were in control of the healthcare, and that's what started all this stuff. And that's what I've seen when I've seen these people taken. It's terrible. It's.
Yep. Hey, listen, guys. Dershie's tired. I'm tired. It was a lot of fun.
I'm tired.
Let's call it a night, guys. Can I have a second?
Jerry, it's nice meeting you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
too.
Thanks for calling, Jerry. Man, I missed you a lot. Yeah, it's been a while since you've been able
Yep.
to call in. So glad to hear from you. And Wolfie, you know we always want you to call in, brother. Man, you're always welcome.
Yes, indeed.
And
I have to find you on Twitter.
Thank y'all. Y'all are like my brothers. Thank y'all very much.
You're welcome, buddy.
All right,
You're
so-
welcome to join us.
All right, we'll say goodnight to Wolfman and
Good night, everybody.
and Jerry and Chuck and I.
Thank you.
We'll get out. Love you guys.
Good night, Jerry.
we love you guys.
Good night, y'all.
Hey, we'll see
Have
you.
a great night, everybody listening.
We'll see you on the hub, guys.
Good
Good
night.
night,
I'll
guys.
try.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so back to you and I, Chuck. It's been great. We've been on the hour.
It's almost 11:30, dude.
Been on the air for an hour and 50 minutes, and after
Crap.
the hour and we did an hour 20 last night. So
Yeah.
I think it's about time for us to call it a night. Ken,
I saw your eyes closing, buddy.
I'd like to thank all the people who are out there listening. We had people come in, call in, and listen all the time. Know that most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, we have this after show as an extension of the right side of politics.
No, the Chuck and Lisa show.
Right after the Chuck and Lisa show, but it's an extension
Right.
of the right side
That
of
is
politics.
That is true.
And,
And we're fun.
We have as much fun on Wednesday nights as we do on Tuesday nights. And speaking
Yes,
of that,
indeed.
we'd like to see you guys on Tuesday night. Spread the word. Let's get people involved. Get people to call in. It's fun. Even like some people from the left to call in, and we'd love to debate if we can have a civil debate. So I love you, Chuck.
Absolutely.
Let's call
Love you,
it a
buddy.
night, and I'll see
Yes,
you.
indeedy.
I'll see you around social media. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see everybody else on social media. Bye-bye.
I think you have one thing you have to say. What was that?
All right. Excuse me, Mr. Barack Obama. This is for you. And Obama still sucks.
Good night, everyone.